we're going to cut the individual rates from 7 brackets to 4. Simplification. 25%, 20%, 10%, and 0. If you're single and earn less than $25,000 per year, or married and jointly earn less than $50,000. So, very important. If you're single and earn less than $25,000, or married and jointly earn less than $50,000, you'll not pay any income tax, nothing. This eliminates very strongly and quickly the marriage penalty, very unfair penalty. It eliminates the AMT, which is the alternative minimum tax. It ends the death tax. It's a double taxation. A lot of families go through hell over the death tax. It reduces or eliminates most of the deductions and loopholes available to special interests and to the very rich. In other words, it's going to cost me a fortune, which is actually true, while preserving charitable giving and mortgage interest deductions, very importantly.
Trump wants to cut taxes for the super rich. Well, we're not going there, my friends. I'm telling you right now, we're going to write fairer rules for the middle class, and we are going to raise taxes on the middle class.
Well, first of all, it's not only deportation. It's building a wall, and I mean a real wall. Mexico will pay for the wall. Most politicians wouldn't understand how you'd go about doing that. It'll happen. It's basically quite simple, but it's going to be done in a very humane fashion. People will have to go out. They are illegal immigrants. They came in illegally. They have to go out, and they have to come back legally. Brett, there will be a deportation, and hopefully they'll be able to come back into the country. That illegal immigration is probably at about $300 billion a year. If we do this job right, there shouldn't be a big court situation. Nobody knows legal situations better than Trump, I can tell you that. But you shouldn't have a big legal situation. They came in legally, and that's fine. But when they come in illegally, that's a whole different story. They're here illegally. You take them, they have to go back.
I will continue speaking out for comprehensive immigration reform. I think the people who are here, who are raising families and working hard and contributing to our country, deserve a path to citizenship. I have believed that for many years. I have argued that in many different contexts. We have to reform our immigration system, and we needed to do it yesterday. Deporting them, leaving their children alone, or deporting an adolescent, doing anything that is so contrary to our core values just makes no sense.
Mexico is such an important problem. Mexican government's policies are pushing migration north. There isn't any sensible approach except to do what we need to do simultaneously, secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary in some places, and we need to have tougher employer sanctions, and we need to try to incentivize Mexico to do more. They should be obviously deported.
This is a worldwide problem. I'd get everybody together. That includes Russia, and I've been right about that, too. Now, all of a sudden, Putin's going wild with bombing ISIS, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Who needs to take the credit? Let him have some credit. But I would get everybody together, and I'd blast the hell out of them. They wouldn't be there long, believe me. I would blast the hell out of them. Primary source is the oil. We should bomb the hell out of it, and now they're just starting to do that, but they're 2 years late. And interestingly, after Paris, all of a sudden, they start bombing sites that they knew about for a year and a half. Why didn't they bomb them a year ago? They're training sites, and they could have bombed them a year ago, but they started bombing them after the tragic events of Paris. So many things are wrong. We need leadership in the world now. It's really a worldwide leadership. But boy, do we need leadership in our country.
Not putting American combat troops back into Syria or Iraq. We are not going to do that.
Under no circumstances would you not do that?
Well, don't think it's the smartest way to go after ISIS. I think it gives ISIS a new recruitment tool if we get back in the fight.
We're going to eliminate regulations that kill American jobs And that includes getting rid of the Obama administration's new anti-energy rules that will lift your energy bills up by more than 40% very, very shortly. We're going to put the miners and the steel workers back to work, and we're going to get your energy bills down fast. Coal is coming back. Clean coal is coming back. 100%. Thank you. I'm so glad they said it. What this president and what the EPA has done to our energy and done to our coal industry is ridiculous. We sell coal. The coal mines are dying. But the only coal we give is coal to China. Do you think they clean the coal? Believe me, they don't. All right, we're going to bring the coal industry back 100%. All right. No, if I win, we're going to go clean coal, and that technology is working. I hear it works. So we are going to go clean coal. We're bringing coal back. We're going to have a lot of different forms of energy. We're going to bring it back, and we're going to stay. I mean, I have so many people. They're in the coal industry, West Virginia, different places. It's devastated for no reason whatsoever. So we're bringing coal back. I'm so glad you said that. Thank you. Thank you. Let me tell you, the miners in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, which was so great to me last week, and Ohio, and all over, they're going to start to work again, believe me. You're going to be proud again to be miners.
I'm the only candidate which has a policy about how to bring economic opportunity using clean, renewable energy as the key into coal country. Because we're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business. Now we've got to move away from coal and all the other fossil fuels.
Education has to be at a local level. We cannot have the bureaucrats in Washington telling you how to manage your child's education. So Common Core is a total disaster. We can't let it continue. We are rated 28 in the world. The United States, think of it, 28 in the world. And frankly, we spend far more per pupil than any other country in the world. By far, it's not even a close second. So here we are, we spend more money and we're rated 28. Third world countries are ahead of us. We're going to end Common Core. We're going to have education, an absolute priority.
You know, when I think about the really unfortunate argument that's been going on around Common Core, it's very painful. How did we end up at a point where we are so negative about the most important non-family enterprise in the raising of the next generation, which is how our kids are educated?
The Second Amendment guarantees a fundamental right that belongs to all law-abiding Americans. The Constitution doesn't create that right. It ensures that the government can't take it away, right? Can't. They're doing all sorts of moves to try and take it away. Our founding fathers knew, and our Supreme Court has upheld, that the Second Amendment purpose is to guarantee our right to defend ourselves and our families. We need that.
I think that we've got to rein in what has become a almost article of faith that anybody can have a gun anywhere, anytime. And I don't believe that.
But I want to ask you a specific question. Do you believe that an individual's right to bear arms is a constitutional right, that it's not linked to service in a militia?
I think that for most of our history, there was a nuanced reading of the Second Amendment until the decision by the late Justice Scalia.
But that's not what I asked. I said, do you believe that their conclusion that an individual's right to bear arms is a constitutional right?
If it is a constitutional right, then it, like every other constitutional right, is subject to reasonable regulations.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
This is our CNN 2016 battleground map, and you see the yellow states. Those are states that we have by consensus here determined are toss-up states. If one thing Democrats say is, we don't think so, this one's probably going to go to them. That's what they think. Because of the Latino vote, Trump's issues, they think they get that one. Also inside the Democratic campaigns, they would say, well, Wisconsin, we're going to get back. If on our battleground map, if Democrats could hold Nevada, and hold Wisconsin, then if you're Secretary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, Florida would get you over the top. That's why this map is so competitive, so hard. The hill is steeper, if you will, given the last 2 elections for Republicans. If Donald Trump could hold Florida, that makes it a more interesting map. But then Donald Trump has to go in. Well, let's start over this way. Donald Trump would have to win Ohio. He would have to win North Carolina, which Romney carried in 2012 after Obama carried in 2008. So where are we now? I didn't do that on purpose. We're at a tie, 253 to 253. This is how a competitive election could play out. So where does the state of Virginia go? One of the classic swing states in American politics, has been trending blue in recent years. If the Democrats can hold that, now you're up to 266. Pick one, and you get to the finish line. So can Donald Trump hold Iowa? George W. Bush had some success. Barack Obama won it twice. If Trump could somehow take Iowa, then there you are, 266, 259, and we come down to 2 smaller states. Now, Democrats will tell you they believe Colorado is coming their way. Traditionally been a battleground state. The Denver suburbs, the Latino vote could be key. This could come down here or could come down here. What if Donald Trump can win New Hampshire? Then you're at 266, 263. Again, it's a hypothetical conversation, but here, Colorado in this circumstances decides the presidency.
You could see easily if you took Donald Trump, if you took Donald Trump right here and you gave him Pennsylvania, you gave him Ohio, you gave him Michigan, you gave him Wisconsin, boom, he's hit 270.
The last few elections, this map has been rather predictable. You have the same battlegrounds that all the candidates are fighting over. Do you see that change in that dynamic this time?
Yeah, I mean, so this is what it looked like in 2012. And here's the thing. We are in the longest period of stability in American history with the electoral map. But with Donald Trump in this race, appealing to different voters, turning off different voters than we're used to, there's a new fault line, and that's closing off some traditional battleground states to him. It's also opening some new ones up, maybe. Look at Virginia and look at Colorado. Remember how much time we spent on these states the last few elections? Well, if you look at the type of voter here, it's more suburban, it's college educated, more culturally moderate, rising Hispanic population in Colorado. These states demographically look like they may be closing off to Donald Trump.
This is 2012, right? Obama won with 332. 206. What if Donald Trump really can put Pennsylvania in play? What if he can put Michigan in play? Then all he would have to do is win the state of Florida. That's all he would have to do. If Donald Trump could win Florida and take Michigan and Pennsylvania, it's game over. Now